Hello, beautiful people. I hope you are doing well. I'm so excited to be joining you here today on my channel, Holistic Language Learning. And before we get started with what this video is about, what we're here for, what I'm going to talk about in this live, I just want to know from you, where are you tuning in from? Say hello in the chat here. And also let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me all right. As you'll see, we've got a bit of a new setup happening here, but I'm really excited, as I said, to be here. And as you may have seen, well, if you saw the title of this video, and if you've been paying attention to everything that's been kind of happening here, you'll see that a lot of things have been really evolving when it comes to holistic language learning. And so today I want to really go and give you a little bit of a deeper insight. You could almost call it like a behind the scenes of what is actually holistic language learning, what is the future of our brand, of our business, the direction that it's heading in, and most importantly, what is in it for you. So you may have seen in our recent posts, especially not only on YouTube here, but we've been really active on LinkedIn and also in our private community. Holistic language learning has really grown to, well, it's grown from a place that started actually with my own personal experiences. And so it's transformed really into something that is serving the language community, yes, but in a very different way. And before I get into the specifics and the hows and the whys, I want to kind of take you through a little bit of a journey of how this actually happened and how it came to be that holistic language learning has developed into what it is. And so everything really started with this calling that I had. Now, I've been in the language industry for almost 8 years now. And I started off a lot like I know some of you here who have been following my channel as a language teacher. So I started teaching online, and I started off because it was something that I needed to do because, well, I needed to earn an income. And I was really good at it. I was really passionate about teaching, and I was passionate about learning and passionate about languages. And so I thought, let's just bring these all together. But as my career developed and as I became, more, I'd say more in tune and just more aware of everything that was in the language industry, not only there, but also in the polyglot sphere, I started to notice some gaps. And, I would go to these events to help me grow my business because, quite frankly, I was really struggling. I had never had a business before. I had never had any guidance on how to even, be successful. And this was also a really new niche at the time. So nowadays you'll see that there are so many different language learning channels popping up. But at the time that I started, there were some, but definitely not as many as now. And they definitely did not have the same, I'd say, missions or objectives as the channels that exist today do. And so with these gaps that I started to see, I went and searched for answers, but I didn't find any. And I found that a lot of the time, the language educator resources that existed were kind of very superficial. There was nothing in place. There was no template there of how can you actually grow a sustainable business, and the only options that were presented were, well, you create a course online or you keep teaching one-to-one. But there was never anything really there when it came to, for example, how do I actually, grow and maintain my well-being? What are the types of standards I should set for my pricing? How should I value myself? All of these types of questions were coming up and I didn't find any answers. And when I went to these language events or I would go to conferences, there was so much there about, people sharing their success stories and sharing how they had, started a company or grown or made certain revenue or whatever. And that's all beautiful. But when it came to sharing the how, there wasn't really that much being presented, next to nothing at all, which at least was what I had experienced. And so I decided that enough was enough, and it was time to level up the standards, not only for myself, but the whole community. Because I realized that I can't actually grow if I don't help other people around me grow. There's a reason why when I went and presented my offer and presented my experiences that were really unique when it came to how to learn a language, there was a lot of the time, especially to B2B clients, there was a lot of resistance because they were used to low industry standards in this field. And so all of these quiet behind the scenes conversations that were happening with other language teachers that I spoke to or other language educators led me to realizing that something needs to be done. And I was onto something actually pretty big. And so holistic language learning, at its core, what we do is we offer coaching and mentoring services to language educators who are looking to expand beyond these industry standards, who are looking to grow their business and succeed in their business ventures whilst not having to sacrifice their well-being. And so, on an even larger scale, what our mission is to elevate the standards of language education through this lens globally. And so, what we're also aiming to do is, as I said, it's not a small thing that I'm doing with my team, and we're looking to expand and share with you as well. Is we're really looking at aligning what language learning and the whole industry does with the SDGs of the United Nations when it comes to education. And so we're doing that as well by collaborating with other education institutions such as universities. And we have so many resources that are in the making, that are already out there, and you may have seen bits and pieces of them also here. But I just want to take you through as well. If you're a language educator and you're watching this, then there are so many tools already available that I want to share with you. And so one of the things you may have noticed that was released a couple of months ago is our free language educator well-being and business mastermind. And there's a reason for that title. As I said, we are looking at really making the holistic approach the global standard when it comes to language education. And so what I realized and why I'm targeting and working more now with language educators rather than the one-to-one language learners is because I realized that the impact that I could have was only this big compared to if I collaborated and held hands with other language educators from all around the world. That way we could reach more people and really enhance and increase these standards. Because when I was working with my one-to-one clients, over the course of 3 to 4 years, I had about 250 students. But I was also really exhausted and really burnt out, and I was not taking care of my well-being. And so that's what led me to realize is this has to be a collaborative effort. We can only grow if we do this together. We can only create a change if all of us come together and we get the help that we need and we decide that we're going to set higher standards for our work and for our industry. And so that was one of the reasons why I started the Language Educator Mastermind, as I said, for well-being in business. But that's only one of the free resources that we have. So under our brand and our business, Holistic Language Learning, we have the Mastermind. As I said, it's a free event that you can come to every single month. And we touch on the topics of how to grow your business in alignment with aspects of your well-being, because everything affects everything and it all goes hand in hand. And so additionally, we also have our Holistic Language Talks, which is a TED-style talk bringing innovators in the space to the stage and sharing holistic language education across many different realms and many different topics. So that's another free resource that we have here, and you can check it out on YouTube as well. We also have a podcast coming along. We also have our free newsletter community, where multiple times a week we share everything around this topic of growth in your business and your personal life amongst the branch of holistic language learning. And as I said, it's all free. And so in addition to that, what I also offer is mentoring and coaching services. So we have our one-to-one holistic language coach educator program, and that's where you can really get deep if you need specific help and are looking to grow and expand your business whilst maintaining your well-being and adapting and adopting the holistic approach into your work and into your lifestyle. Then that's really where the one-to-one services come in. And it's a beautiful, beautiful container. I can tell you, it's been magical working with these educators already. And as well, we have the group experience, which is going to be opening its doors next year again. So this is something we launch once a year, and that is also a service that we offer. So you'll see there are multiple things happening under holistic language learning. But something I want to touch on as well is this isn't just a buzzword for me. You know, this word holism and holistic, you'll see that there's a reason why it's on everything I do. There's a reason why it's called the holistic language learning. There's a reason why it's called, holistic language talks. We have our holistic articles as well, which is another free resource that you can have access to. Everything is holistic because it's the way that I live my life. Everything I do, everything I have been nurturing in my own life is set on this foundation of holism. Because fundamentally, I realize that we as human beings function at our best and we thrive, not just survive, when we approach our life and take care of it holistically. That includes your relationships, your friendships, your health, your business, your emotional state, your awareness and your spirituality, everything. When it rests on this foundation of holism, that's where you just see magic happen. And I've seen it in my own life. It's also the same thing for my partner. We both live a very holistic lifestyle. He's a retired US Marine and also a professional coach. And he's very well experienced in yoga, meditation. His meditations have been featured on the global learning platform Mindvalley, if you've heard of it. And so together, we are working on creating all of these resources for holistic language learning and bringing them to the world and elevating the education standards out there and helping other language educators, most importantly, to have access to these resources, to know that there is a different approach out there. There's something that can help them actually live, be elevated in their business, be elevated in their lives, and thrive. And so, when I see sometimes this buzzword being used about holism or holisticism, it's just so much more. As I said, it's really about living a holistic lifestyle. And so I've also seen, a lot of people now jumping onto this thing and they think it's a trend. It's not a trend. I'm here to make an impact. This is my purpose. This is my mission. And I have a long-term vision that stretches way beyond just putting something on your Instagram as a holistic language coach or, creating a holistic language learning journal or whatever it may be. I'm here with a deeper mission, and that's what holistic language learning is. As I said, we're here to revolutionize language education. We're here to help language educators elevate beyond industry standards that currently exist and help them really thrive and adopt this holistic approach, because I know it works. I've seen it in my own clients. And so that's why I decided to step out of my comfort zone actually in the last year and a half and really create these services, because there was a massive need for it. And I saw that with every single language educator that I spoke to. And I also use the term language educator just to quickly jump on that for a reason. Because there are language teachers, language coaches, and people who may not identify with those terms, but they're delivering services, whether it be in communications. I've been working with a communication coach who's also extremely interested in the holistic approach. And so that's why this term language educator is the one that I'm using, because there are just so many innovative ways to help others improve in the space of language learning, not just foreign language learning, but anything to do with communication and languages, that I found that Language Educator really fits the best. And so if you're interested in supporting holistic language learning and anything I've said in this video has really piqued your interest, then you'll see in the description box right underneath this video, I've included 2 key links. So the first link is going to take you to all of the resources that I mentioned. So once again, we have a ton of freebies there for you. As I said, because we're looking to make an impact. We have the free mastermind. We have our holistic articles. We have a podcast coming. We have the holistic language talks. All of that is there, and you can check it out by clicking the link that is in the description box below. And also, if you are a language educator or anybody really working in the language industry, as I said, it's about helping anybody in the language industry, including translators, including interpreters, to elevate their business and maybe, create a different type of offering that hasn't existed before. That's what we can help you do as well. And some of my clients have really described my work as being the Amazon of coaching, because both Peter and I together and with our team, we offer a range of resources when it comes to our coaching and mentoring services. And so you'll get to check them out as well by clicking the link below. If you're interested in having more support and gaining some more help and insights into your business, or even if you're interested in creating a business in the language space whilst maintaining your well-being as a top priority, then we can definitely help you with that. And you can check out what we have to offer in our mentoring and coaching services, also by clicking the link in the description box. So those were some of the kind of key elements of holistic language learning, of our business, of the future of it, where we're going really in the long term. And if you have any questions, please do feel free to comment them below or get in touch. And finally, I would love to ask you to support us in our mission. And you can do so by subscribing to this channel, by liking this video, by sharing it with anybody else that you know would benefit from hearing this, or would benefit from this content. Maybe you know somebody who is a language educator and would really benefit from this, then please do share it with them and check out our links, check out our resources and support them as well. And I thank you for being here with me, for sharing this moment, and for being a part of my mission in some way. Because holistic language learning, I tell you, this is only the beginning. We're growing exponentially, and you'll be seeing a lot more of that here across our other platforms as well. And to stay in touch with everything, I would do suggest signing up to our free newsletter community, because that is where all of our community gets all the news in the first instance. So thank you, merci, obrigada, valdia, spasiba, dankeschön, thank you for being here, and I will catch you another time. Thank you.